That's a very Warhammer conversation indeed. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I think I might stick with Lizardmen and Chaos is probably the most original and big grudge of all time, because that's like the original two factions that have warred with each other. But anyway, let's get to this. We have the Dwarfs and the Tomb Kings, which we will start with. Our red team, Black Devils. We have, all right, so here we have Skeleton Spearmen, Skeleton Warriors. Looks like 3 and 3. Yep, 3 and 3 for the Dwarfs. Got Slayers, Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, 2 of them. And then we have 3 Dwarf Warriors. We're also going to have Gotrek, Felix, and Belagar Ironhammer, along with 2 Dwarf Cannons. We're going to have 2 Shopteeth Great Bows. We're going to have some Nehekara Warriors. And then we've got High Queen Khalida coming in on top of her Serpent. And then we also have some Necropolis Knights with Halberds backing her up. A little bit of lag right now. Hopefully it smooths out, as the last battle was quite smooth. If I do say so myself, I think it went quite well. So hopefully this is just a momentary glitch. Now for the other alliance with the Dwarfs involved, the Dwarf and the Skaven, we're going to have Dwarf Warriors. Looks like 3 of them, 4 of them actually. Got a single unit of Thunderers up in the front. We're going to have the same loadout in terms of Gotrek and Felix, but also got Grombrindle, the White Dwarf. Imagine bring that Smoke Bomb slow units down. For the artillery, we have 3 cannons over here in this Dwarf army. And then we have 2 Warplock Giselles. I really like the pick of these Warplock Giselles and cannons. I think they're going to force these Tomb Kings to them rather quickly, but we'll see how the Abshopti fare. We've got some Clan Rat Spears with shields. Ixcha's Triads, the Regiment of Renown that has a basically a mimic unit that they can summon. Doppelganger, I think, is the name. And other than that, we got a lot of Skaven Slave Spears up here in the front. Some Poison Wind Mortars to pressure that infantry on the opposing side. And for the Skaven leadership, it looks like we're going to have none other, the only Lord Skrulk. Now, Lord Skrulk is going to have Liber Bonicus, Rod of Corruption, and his summons. And that appears to be it. So, let's see here. Alright, a little bit of lag. We'll see if it smooths out. Come on, game. Come on, game. Frat Nip. Good to see you. It's going well, man. Hell bent on killing, well, everything because they exist. Oh yeah, Astartes? I have seen those. They're cool. Alright. What's going to happen? Oh, guys, I'm knocking on wood. I have my fingers crossed. I don't know what's going on. I'm guessing rehost now because it just completely took a shit right there. Hasn't even sent my message yet. Damn, that last battle was so smooth. It just happened. Don't know why this one's lagging right now. Yeah, this is going quite unbearably slow. Okay. Got some lovely slow motion Skaven weapons team fire coming in on top of these Ushabti Grapos. Doing some good work. Nice slow motion battle so far. In goes the Ushabti fire. We're going to watch this lone arrow since we can do it in the slow motion fest. And how's it going to do? That one's going to miss, but that one looks like it may make a connection. No, I'm going to go right between those models. And the cannonballs are flying as well. Oh, unfortunate. Unfortunate. My apologies, chat. But I think we're going to keep on trying. I don't want to rehost. If there's a chance this will smooth out, and it hasn't completely frozen yet, so hopefully as models get killed down, it is a quite big armies on either side, and maybe it will start to smooth out from there. Yeah, everyone's bandwidth is crunch today. Probably the quarantine too, man. So many people on the internet. Internet's broken. Alright, I'll say that. I'm not going to force a restart if these teams would rather keep playing on because I'm not sure it would fix it. And so if both teams after 2 minutes of trying to see if this smooths out want to restart, then I will allow them to. It is frustrating that it's in slow motion, but still got my fingers crossed something will improve here. Slow-mo with no sound. There's sound, it's just very delayed sound. Alright, one cannon has been disabled by the Skaven over here, but there's still, what's that going to be, 8 online, so it just seems to me that the Skaven Dwarf Alliance may be getting the better of these trades in the long run. However, these cannons are still all online, 6 models with the 2 Ushabti Grapos 2. Warpluck Giselles are coming forward though. Squirrel is already going to be summoning some clan rats onto the field of battle, and we'll see where they decide to go to. Oh, the mortars are coming! Da 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 da. There we go, get that slow-mo poison wind mortar action. And some nice connections there. Doing quite a lot of damage, I'm sure, especially over time, since it's connected with so many units. 4 separate units getting connected by those poison wind mortars. And that one going to be far short. Looks like High Queen Khalid is going to get focused by the Warplock Giselles now, interestingly enough. I still probably want to be focusing on top of the Ushabti Grapos with those Warplock Giselles, personally. Otherwise, they will start to take or deal a lot of damage potentially to your cannons if they can close the range. But High Queen Khalida is going to take a ton of damage, and she's not going to really be able to dodge it. So I can also understand the logic here, trying to take care of leadership early. And we'll see if it pays out for him. And right here, just look at this, guys. His terrain feature, just creating a massive blob, which is exactly what the Poison Wind Mortars want. They're just going to decimate these units as they approach and just continue to get bunched up on each other. Now, that's when mortars and units like that with a lot of splash damage shine, especially the Poison Wind Mortars, since they have that 10 seconds of damage after the fact that they hit them because of the Poison Wind effect. Cannon's going to be focusing on the Ushabti with great bows, dealing a lot of damage, knocking these guys back. Felix is also going to get taken out. Looks like they thought he was an easier target than Khalida after a moment, and holy hell, taking care of Felix right now, absolutely devastating. 500 to 600 points over the 10 seconds. That's insanity. But yeah, Felix has been shattered, and that's a huge loss. And meanwhile over here, this hero squad has plenty of health left on Felix, and he's going to be able to regenerate all 4 of these units. And Skrulk, although he's a caster, he's also not a chump in melee combat. He is a Plague Monk Sensor Bearer after all. So we'll have to see. But in my humble opinion, Super Team 1 seems like they're in a much stronger position so far, especially as they just send in what I imagine is the Mimic. Yep, they're sending in the Doppelganger unit here to pin down these units so the Poison Wind Mortar can continue to just lay down an oppressive amount of damage. Getting some friendly fire there, but they are the Doppelganger unit, so who really cares in the end? And now we're going to see these Great Bow Ushabti getting taken out, and look at that, the battle is slowly but surely, I believe, starting to smooth out. I'm probably jinxing it by saying that, but I think as it continues on. Yeah, just move one unit up at a time for sure, Risto. Definitely want to echo that sentiment. When you see that your units are blobbing up on a terrain feature, you got to make sure you micro them well, split them up. Otherwise, these mortars are just going to shine, as you can see right now. A very nice demonstration of that. However, one thing I also want to point out is it's not just them making a mistake going into that zone. It's also, I think, some nice foresight or like planning on the part of Super Team 1 here. If you form up your formation here, keep your line extending behind a terrain feature, oftentimes the player will just push forward, not want to take this long amount of time to kind of reform their line and push a little bit further that way so they don't get bunched up here because they have so much pressure from the missile fire and the mortars and so forth. So if you apply that pressure, oftentimes you can kind of, you know, help your opponent make the mistake you want them to mistake so you get the most use out of your mortars. Over here, there's a huge hero duel going down. We have Gotrek, as well as an assassin, Grombrindle, Felix, and this lovely Lord Skrulk. I missed the assassin earlier, but that's just going to make this one fight even more one-sided. Got to keep in mind, Super Team 1 sniped Felix before he can get into combat, and now they're outnumbering their counterpart hero squad about 2 to 1 in terms of health, and 5 to 3 when it comes to actual models. So right now the balance of power is just getting further and further out of hand, and I think we're going to be looking at a Super Team 1 2-0 victory here unless the Devils here can get something going quick. Oh my god, slow motion Warhammer for the win. Look at this action shot of this skeleton. There you go, charge forward, Mr. Skeleton. Poison Wind Mortars are going to be focusing over here now. Looks like they're going to be hitting Skeleton Spearmen and Slayers. And, man, this Gotrek over here for the Devils getting decimated. Oh, man, some huge hits on top of Lord Skrulk, though. And Lord Skrulk needs to be careful. He may get knocked out by Gotrek if he isn't safe. Holy hell. Those 2 hits were just like unbelievable, but there goes Gotrek taking some serious damage. And once Gotrek goes down, it's just going to be Belegar Ironhammer by himself by the looks of it. High Queen Khalida is coming over here to help fight, though. Lord Skrulk getting healed. It looks like that might be the bug there, where he kind of takes over Gotrek's ability and gets healed up, because other than that, I mean, I doubt that his Felix was healing him up that quickly. That'd be pretty insane. Yeah, full Vanguard behind. That would have been nuts. But there it goes. It does look like we're going to see a resignation here from Sarv, a.k.a. Warisha. Yeah, I would say that was a GG. That wasn't a lag thing as much as like, yeah, they just looked like their army got outpicked pretty hard by Super Team 1. So great games to both teams there. But we're going to see a 2-0 victory there for Super Team 1. So updating that scoreboard to reflect it. And then I don't know how much I have to add other than what I was saying there, which was I just think obviously both parties brought a decent amount of ranged fire. You know, 2 cannons, 2 Ushabti great bows for Devil's team. And then over here for the Super Team 1, I just think the 2 Warplock Giselles plus 3 cannons completely outclassed the artillery fight. But then the X factor that I think was really important is these Poison Wind Mortars. Only 19 kills, it says. But if it showed the damage done, I'm sure it would be insane. They don't kill a ton of models, but they deal a ton of damage. And it just looks like they were chewing through the Dwarfs and the Tomb Kings on that approach with those mortars. And their hero squad was also just a bit more deadly. You know, you have Khalida here who's solid, but there's really no large enemies for her to fight. And then over here at Belegar, Felix, and Gotrek, which is also a tough combination, but when you're going up against, Grombrindle and an assassin with Lord Skrulk, like, to me, like, this hero squad is just also going to outclass this hero squad. And got to give a big shout out to the play there when he used the Warplock Giselles here to snipe down the opposing Felix, because that immediately took healing off of the table for this hero squad. And then from there, I think it was a downhill slope. They got outgunned, and then they got their leadership outgunned as well, metaphorically speaking. So good games, but Super Team 1 there, just nice compositions, I have to say.